Hi guys, this is Anna from Kakibana, and today I'm going to be talking to you about cost of living in Colombia. Now, this was a request from Talal Hass, so thank you Talal for your comment and your request. If you guys have any other requests, please comment below and I will try and do a video on that. So today I'm going to be talking about cost of living in Colombia, how much it costs to live comfortably in Colombia, and also how much things cost in Colombia, so approximate. So obviously with all of these costs, there's going to be a cheap version and then a more expensive version. And basically expensive version, the sky is the limit. So let's just do like an approximate expensive option. And then also at the end, I'll talk about how much people earn and how much you could earn as an English teacher living in Colombia. Now, I was living in Bogota, the capital of Colombia, and people say that Bogota is more expensive than other cities. But actually, I think, having traveled around a little bit, I think the costs are quite similar in other countries, maybe a little bit, cheaper. But for example, the coast of Colombia, so for example, Cartagena, Barranquilla, and Santa Marta, they could be even more expensive than Bogota because of the tourists there. So basically the cost that I'm going to give you is probably a good base if you're thinking of coming to Colombia. So let's talk about exchange rates as well. So I'm from Australia, and so Australia usually $1 costs 2,000 pesos. And so I just, 2,000 seems like a really big number, but all you have to do is take the 3 zeros off and then divide it by 2, and then there you have the Australian dollars. Now, exchange rates always change, so that's kind of like a base exchange rate. And then also for the US as well, so US dollars, $1 at the moment is approximately 3,000 pesos. So you just take the 3 zeros off and divide it by 3, and there you have the US dollars. Now, because of the fluctuation of the exchange rate, I'm going to give all of the prices and costs in pesos. Okay, so let's start with the cost of the basics. So the basics would be rent, food, and transport, right? So for rent, you're going to share with other people, so you're going to live in a share house, and it depends obviously the area you live in and everything like that, but usually these can cost, so probably a cheap cost for one person is 300,000 pesos per month, and this includes all the rent and the bills. And then if you're going for a higher price, it would be around 450,000 pesos. And obviously if you have a partner and you are going to share a room together, like I did as a couple, and I stayed in the very outskirts of Bogota in the capital city, and I was paying 550,000 pesos per month for the two of us. So then per person, that's what, 275,000 pesos per month. So that's a cheap option as well. And we had a private bathroom, so it was a pretty good deal, I think. So food in Colombia, supermarkets are actually quite expensive. Fruit and vegetable are going to be cheaper from little shops just down the street. And so if you do this and you maybe just buy some of the necessary things from the supermarket, like rice and things like that, then cheaply per week, you could spend 50,000 pesos per week. And then per week, if you like to eat and you like to buy a lot of fruit and try everything and get more expensive fruit that's not in season or something, then you could spend up to 100,000 pesos per month. And obviously the sky's the limit. Transport, so basically transport in Bogota and in Colombia in general are based on one trip. It costs around 2,000 pesos, so that depends on the city that you're in. So it depends if you can walk to work, or if you can walk to school, or if you can walk to everywhere that you want to go to, then you're not going to spend anything. But then if you need to catch the bus or something to work, then you're going to spend 2,000 pesos per trip. And then, for example, if you go out on the weekend, so that would be, going there and back 7 days a week, then that would cost you, 28,000 pesos per week. So they are the three basics, I think. So rent, food, and transport. And so if you do that per month, so the cheap one would be around 500,000 pesos per month. And then if you want to go expensive, it's 1 million pesos per month. Obviously you want to explore and everything like that, so you're going to spend on extra things. And the extra things that I'm going to talk about are gym membership, if you want to keep fit, going out and having a beer with a friend or something, eating out at like a kind of nice restaurant or just on the street, and also if you want to buy clothes or if you want to buy anything like that. And then I'm not really going to include travel on here, like traveling to different cities and stuff, because that is, yeah, extra. So a cheap gym membership, so the gym membership I was able to get because I was on the outskirts of Bogota, is 80,000 pesos per month. And this is at a really well-known gym and a really good gym with good facilities called Bodytech. And this was 80,000 pesos per month. But if you go to a town called Chapinero, which is like the center of the city, it's the trendy part of Bogota, then the membership there could be, I don't know, like 600,000 pesos per month. It's like, I remember it was just ridiculously expensive, but it does have good facilities and good classes like that. So going out, if you just want to eat on the street at a local restaurant, so just down the street, like at a tiny shop, then one meal could be from 6,000 pesos to 10,000 pesos, which is quite cheap. But if you want to go to like a restaurant where it's like quite big, good ones like with vegan options are Wok and La Hamburgueseria, and they have really good food there. It's really nice. You have waiters there, you have nice lighting, you have music, and like a very nice atmosphere. Then one meal could be 15,000 pesos, which I don't think is too bad. But if you get dessert or entrees and things, then you could spend 20,000 or 30,000 pesos. Now, if you want to spend on clothes, clothes are actually quite expensive in Colombia. So if you go to a shopping center, if you go to the well-known shops like Zara, H&M, and you know, prices could be only half of that of Australia or the US, or even the same price. So what's that, like 100,000 pesos for a jacket, or 100,000 pesos for pants, or even more than that. So if you're buying at those kind of shops, then you're going to spend a lot of money buying clothes. But if you don't need to buy clothes, obviously you don't need to spend anything. And if you want to go into the center of town and just buy clothes on the street, then yeah, they're going to be cheap. Maybe like a top is going to be, I don't know, 20,000 pesos or something. Not like ridiculously cheap, but still cheaper. So on that, you could spend whatever you want on it. But say, for example, you spend 100,000 pesos per month, and then if you want to buy one thing per week, then that's like 800,000 pesos per month. So how much is that all together? Obviously, if you want to spend on extra things like gym, going out, having a beer, eating out, and clothes, then per month you could do it cheaply, spending 200,000 pesos per month. But if you spend, if you want to spend more on that, and say you go to an expensive gym, you go out and have many beers, you eat out maybe, I don't know, once or twice a week, spend on clothes, then you could spend on the extras, you could spend 2 million pesos per month. So all of the basics and the extras put together, done cheaply, is around 700,000 pesos per month. And then if you want to do it expensively and live a lifestyle where you're not really holding back on what you spend on, then expensively you could spend up to 3 million pesos per month. So there's a bit of a range there. And if you want to go in the middle, which is probably what I did, I think, and want to go in the middle and like go out some weeks, but some weeks you don't go out, then, you know, the middle ground is 1,500,000 pesos per month. So that is probably the average cost of living in Colombia if you want to live, you know, comfortably, but not too much, not too elaborate. And that is one lucky thing, because 1,500,000 pesos was actually what I was earning per month. Actually, the minimum salary for Colombians is 737,000 pesos this year, 2017. So if they live really cheaply, then they can spend on that. But these people earning minimum salaries usually have families and things like that. So they usually live in like really, really cheap areas and, you know, hold back on their spending. But luckily for English teachers, if you do want to work for companies like British Council and International House, then they can pay an English teacher from like 3 million pesos to 4 million pesos. or even 5 million pesos, who knows. So, you know, it depends on where you work as an English teacher, what type of people you want to teach, and if you want to have extra private lessons or something like that, then you could earn, you know, more than that if you wanted to. Obviously, there are many rich people in Colombia, and they can earn, you know, ridiculous salaries. It's a really sad situation, but that's the situation at the moment. So anyway, I hope this video was informative. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, then please leave me a comment below. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and subscribe to my channel, and check out my blog, which is kakibana.com, which has more information about life in Colombia. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time. Bye!